Hello, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, the executive producer here, and I've got a few pre-show notes for you. First, a reminder. All of the content we produce is available on our website at finalshowfilms.com, as well as youtube.com/senstaku, senstaku.podbean.com, twitch.tv/senstaku, and on iTunes. We are only able to do the things we do thanks to the kind support of our Patreon donors. We give a special shout out to our $25 tier supporters, Antitonic and Waterflame. If you'd like to support us that way, be sure to check it out. Secondly, a thank you to the folks over at 411mania.com. They produce articles and content related to wrestling, MMA, movies, music, and gaming. Go check them out. We appreciate their support as well. And lastly, be sure to subscribe, comment, and rate, if possible, wherever you listen to or watch our content. It helps us know what you like, what you don't like, and helps us make more content. Feedback is always appreciated. With all that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gran, Terra, Rebirth. I'm John, the Game Master for the evening, and today I'm joined by William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Baldwin Ironhand, Dwarven Cleric of the Forge.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Selena, Fire Genasi Wild Sorceress.
And Sarah.
Something.
I'm Sarah, and I play 5, a Drow Phoenix Soul Sorcerer.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Erin, and I'm playing Agdrasol, the Elven Ranger.
And today we are broadcasting live from Sigil, the City of Doors. As you can see, we are missing Mara, Cody, and Patricia. They are being replaced by lovely handcrafted images of doors. And so...
How do you handcraft?
You paint it.
New art project.
And on that note...
You paint it. That's how you handcraft it.
Or crochet it, or any number of other things. Anyways. Beyond that. When last we left our adventurers, they had just... one of them had just come back from a meeting with the enigmatic trader / information broker, Kyle Argal, making a deal for passage to the Abyss in exchange for assisting another adventuring party led by the charming tiefling Sharoon in basically a heist in 1 month's time. In 1 month's time, they have an invitation to a ball for a very wealthy merchant, sort of owner of a mercantile company. Where they are to procure a ledger from his safe. They have a rough estimate of a plan in which Selena and Sharoon, posing as guests, go to the ball and case the joint, relaying information about the location to the Snatch and Grab team, which composes of a good portion of the more stealthy and quick members of both parties. And then who will run once retrieving the item, run to the safety of the guard team who are securing the exit, which is the rest of the party, the people that punch things. In the meantime, they have a month before that happens, and Agdrasol has been asked to keep an eye on the group in order to ensure that they don't die in the next month. That's pretty much, and so with their...
I feel like the implication was also don't wander off and ditch the deal.
No. If they ditch the deal, then they don't get what they want, so that's not a concern there. The primary concern is don't let them die. Or if they do die, let us know so we can change plans.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There's enough incentive. There's enough incentive on both sides to keep the deal going. And so we left off with the group with. I think you guys were still at the tavern. Yeah, with the group still at the tavern. Baldrin and 5 outside, Selena walking back in, I believe. And so there we have it. The tavern is still currently bustling with people moving around and serving food and drinks and talking. The band of kobolds that are there that were there previously are still there, talking loudly and in their very sharp and piercing draconic voices. Sharoon and his team are sitting over at what appears to be their customary table. Samson, the Goliath with a great sword, is sitting guarding the stairs, and you all are in your various places.
All right, it's. Oh, god damn it. Internet.
Oh, you're back. I mean, you just blinked slightly.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
But
Now you cut out. It's a perfect image for him to cut out on, too, because it's just a face palm.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, while we wait for William's internet to correct itself.
Yeah. Selena's going to come back in, just walk over and get a drink.
Yep.
And she is sitting at the bar by herself, drinking.
Okay.
For the moment.
Agdasol will try and coax conversation out of whatever of the party he can. I realize none of the people that I am referring to are here, and just generally make nice.
Toriel slides you a drink, and Selena comes back over and sits down next to, because that's like one of the only places left of the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to talk to Selena is there.
Nice to make your acquaintance.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. So wings, huh?
Yep.
That's a thing.
Yeah. Pretty handy.
So what's your deal?
I shoot stuff. I move from place to place, and I suppose you could say I have an innate connection to the realms. Realms, dimensions, whatever the
Planes.
I suppose you could say I have an intimate connection with the planes. Something might assume you have some experience with yourself.
Not really, actually. It's a long story, but when you say connection, are you talking about experience?
Yep.
So let me ask you a question. What do you know about the Abyss? Said just like that, completely casual.
Unfortunately, I overheard something earlier. This and that. Never been there. It's more in the elemental that I find my specialty.
Well, that's fair. Cutting out what you don't know and going with what you do. Let's start with this and then move into that. Feel free. I know.
Well, welcome back, William.
after you've had technicians here 3 times, this should be fixed.
Yeah.
America.
Sure. What I do know, John, one, what do I know? And two, what do I suspect I'm not supposed to say to the person who's this is their payment?
Give me a history roll.
Okay.
And also, you don't know this is their payment because you weren't in the room when they had that conversation.
No, but I do know that
It
that
is
is
fair
what
to
Selena
guess.
asked at the bar.
That it's fair to assume, yes.
It's fair to assume that the details of transport to the abyss
Yeah,
are
give me a history check.
related.
So yeah, you've never been to the abyss, so you don't know how to get there. Obviously, you know how to get. I mean,
I know how to find doors to other planes.
you know how to get there in the
where
same
the
way that you know how to get to any other plane. Find a place where it's bleeding through that might have a doorway connected to it. You know that there's a doorway to the Feywild somewhere in the south. Or use a plane shift spell or a variety of other things. That's the full extent of how to get to one that you know of.
Yeah.
As for the plane itself, the abyss, more commonly referred to as the infinite layers of the abyss, is a chaotic, evil-aligned plane of existence. It's where chaotic fiends and demons come from. And it's a realm as twisted and corrupt and dangerous as its denizens.
Evil, chaos, and demons.
Mm-hmm.
All the infinite planes of it.
Yep. That seems to be the gist of what I've been able to figure out.
The interesting fact is that while there are infinite layers of it, the farthest down anyone has ever recorded is layer 666.
Of course it is.
Because of course it is.
Keeping that trivia to myself, though. Not a nice place.
If you're in the mood to take a visit, we might be going after this whole thing. Let me rephrase that. We will be going after this whole thing. It could be fun.
Flag down another goddamn drink.
Toriel looks over at you, tilts his head, puts a drink down.
Only my fifth.
He doesn't say anything. He just puts it down. You know Toriel knows exactly how many drinks you have because he has a head for that sort of thing.
I'm not saying it for him. Unless he stops giving me drinks, in which case I am saying it for him. Well, let's see how the month goes first.
Yeah.
Be alive at least until the party thing.
Cool.
So, William, was there something you wanted to do?
You're gonna have to give me a...
And there he goes again. Internet problems. 5. Is there anything you want to do while you're hanging around outside?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Sounds great.
I'm just gonna be mad and continue that.
So,
of course, this is the game session where most of the talkers in the party are not here. Selena is not in the mood to talk because she's in a pissed off mood.
yeah.
Oh.
Probably we'll continue making idle conversation with Selena or anyone else for a bit.
Off to the side, just on the other side of Agdrasal, Corbin sort of puts a drink down, looks over. Well, unless we intend to stay here, do you want to go somewhere else and find something to do for a month? I think Boldrin had an idea.
Sure.
Boldrin,
Where are you
what's your
staying?
idea? No, I'm kidding.
Primarily at the Adventurers Guild. Oh, I need to go get my ox, too. Right.
Oh.
I'm going to go find that. I'll see you guys back at the guild.
You go
And
find
Corbin,
your cow.
Corbin sort of gets up and walks out.
I really, once he's gone, I look over.
I am not a member of the Adventurers Guild, I would assume.
No, you're not.
Once he's gone, look over to Agdrisel. I really hope that fucking cow is dead.
Got it.
Grimalkin, sitting off to one side,
Nice.
tweaks an ear and looks over. I mean, if you have the gold.
I'm not paying you to assassinate an ox.
I sense this is a source of historical tension, and I won't touch it much further.
All I'm saying is if there's anything you need to make go away, I can make go away in quite a flashy way.
I mean, I can make stuff go away, but it's appreciated. Yeah, no, we should. Let me see. Let me run down my. Let's see. No,
wait.
they'll have me arrested. Well, they'll either have me arrested or let me back in.
Do I have a place to sleep here or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So if they decide to be at the Adventurers Guild, it's no big deal.
Selena, you also have a space at the Adventurers Guild. But
Yes, I know. She's trying to think of other options. She's running down her list of people that she has that she has associated with, and what's going to happen if she tries to show up at their door. So we'll have me arrested. We'll either have me arrested or let me in. Will try to kill me. Just won't let me in. Yeah, that's just a bad idea in general. Fuck.
meanwhile,
I guess I'm going to the Adventurers Guild.
Baldrin, you see Corbin walk out the doors, look over at you. Hey, I'm gonna go find my ox.
Probably a good idea.
If you guys want to figure out what we're doing for the next month, I'll meet you guys back at the guild.
Well,
Walks off.
unless there's something I'm not seeing, if one or two of you need to be outside to have this conversation, want to move out there?
There we can. Yeah, probably. I'll go to head out. Finish my drink.
Yep. Finish
So,
your drink.
unicorns happen pretty often with you guys?
No, sometimes everybody gets struck by lightning. Sometimes people grow tall. Sometimes shit happens. Look, all I'm gonna say is that magic is fickle.
And
I will presumably be leaving Hope and Caitlin to their
they're still talking.
interpersonal.
They're having conversation.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so Selena and Agdrisol step outside onto the curb outside of the Misfits Respite.
Yep.
The little sign with an imp on top. Right.
So
above your
Baldwin
heads.
thoughts.
Sorry. On what in particular?
Anything really, but
What to do next?
yeah.
No, that was
Thank
for
Thank
William.
you for giving me that moment to that beat. No. Yeah. Anything really, but I mean, in this case, what we're doing for the next month. I've got a bunch of stuff that I will be doing in the meantime, but overall, if there's anything,
I mean, I've got one stated goal right now.
we can't go into the tower that we might not come out of.
Other than that, I've got just about nothing.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm going to use this time, if we don't have anything particularly pressing on this schedule, I'm going to do a little research.
Sort of looking over towards 5. Don't believe we've been introduced yet. Pleasure to meet you.
Whether
They
5
just-
or...
Who are they talking to? Is it me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes,
5 is
you,
looking at the
5.
cobblestones and looking at her shoes and like trying to decide if she wants to lick them.
So 5, a winged elf, the winged elf whose wings you tried to touch previously, says hi.
5 says nothing and just shakes her head.
Okay.
All right.
That's 5.
All right. Well, at the moment, I mean, you guys are going to be sort of looking at Baldrin. You got. Actually, I don't remember. Are you coming with or are you not?
I'm going to be honest, it's been a full week. I don't even remember what I had said.
You hadn't really given an answer. We sort of left off before you gave an answer.
Because I get why you would possibly not want to be involved, but we are there is a personal stake here because this is somebody who is working with the shards.
That is. I don't know that I can be involved in this particular criminal activity, but I might be able to approach this situation from a slightly different angle. And I'll see what I can do with that around the same time.
Do you have any specifics in mind? Or
I have several moderately formed plans. We'll see which one reaches full fruition first.
Suppose I should
am
ask that.
intrigued and curious and a little bit impressed.
I suppose I should ask that whatever you do not directly interfere or make our job harder.
I'll try and make that consideration.
Wouldn't do if he decided not to have his party after all because the paladin showed up on our doorstep.
Cleric.
Are you telling me you don't know any paladins?
I don't like most paladins, I'll be honest. They're a bit hot-headed.
Fair enough.
See, we don't. He and I don't agree on much, but we agree on that. With a few exceptions. But all right. Well, in the meantime, I'm sure we will get in plenty of trouble in core in the next month or so. I've got some research to do. Androsol, I'm sure we will run into each other just by pure chance in weird, unrelated reasons at some point if we don't specifically meet up.
You, so.
Oh, well.
Sorry for ruining the illusion.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Enjoy sitting in libraries. Come on, let's go.
So is everyone going with Selena to research various things, or?
Yes, though I do have a question. How late is it?
It's about little afternoon.
Okay. I've been day drinking on the job. That's great.
That's, it's fair.
Entirely correct.
Baldrin, are you also going to research?
No, I have other stuff to do. I was given the full description of the plan by Selena.
Yes.
I don't remember it because it's been 2 weeks.
The plan is for Selena and Sharoon are going to enter as guests, perform and case the joint, relay the information required to have the snatch and grab team get into the building and get out, and then whoever isn't good at either of those two things, which is a good portion of the two groups is going to be waiting at the extraction point to act as rear guards.
And do I remember what kind of party this was?
It's a gala. Like it's
Typically, a gala is like a showcase, like what's being shown off here. As my internet dies out again.
That no one knows quite yet. That there's not a lot of information available, and the tickets don't say. The invitations just say you've been invited to an extravagant gala at the Bergen Mansion. Wear your finest and prepare to be amazed.
So
I will.
I would like to. Basically, this is probably going to take a good portion of the month, because the Berrigerns are sort of an all-purpose mercantile guild.
Yeah, think the people that own Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, so as a merchant and a tradesman, I kind of want to ear to the ground, try and find out what, if it is possible to find out what is the commodity of value of showcase.
Sure.
At this gala.
Give me an investigation roll. So meanwhile, 5, are you sticking with, I'm assuming you're sticking with Boldrin, or are you going off and doing something else?
No, I'll go with Boldrin.
Okay. Selena.
That's me for investigation.
What are you looking for?
I am going to go places I have sworn to never go, because I am looking for all the information about the Abyss that I can.
And where is that?
That requires going to places where wizards go.
So Galadir?
Wizards bars?
No. Like, I'm assuming there are arcane there are...
Well, there's one big arcane research place.
Yes.
The Elemental Magisters have a hall, for lack of a better term, that is sort of slightly isolated from the rest of the city.
Mm-hmm.
That is not, it's not gated off per se, you assume, because they don't need gates.
Right.
But it is sort of a slightly disheveled looking building near to the Triumvirate, but not connected to any other buildings.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm headed.
There are also a variety of other like research laboratories, but they're typically very specific. So you're heading to. Okay.
If I remember right, the Adventurers Guild also has the library.
Yes, it does. But they don't have the best library, which is what Selena's looking for.
Yep.
So, you find Selena and Agdrasol. You find yourselves standing outside what appears to be a squat 2-story, fairly ramshackle stone brick and mortar building. With shuttered windows and a large wooden, sort of a large oaken door closed at the entrance.
Mm-hmm. Walk up.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom. There's a long pause, and you just hear an ephemeral voice, sort of emanating from the air around you. State your business.
Research.
Who would you like to see?
The person who can get me access to knowledge about lower planes.
The door shakes, and it's just like sort of a layer of dust drops off of it visibly as it slowly opens, and darkness is inside.
I walk right in.
All right, you follow Idrisol? So the two of you step in, and the door is behind you, and then after a few moments, there's and these green flame candles just sort of light over and over and over and over and over again, illuminating sort of a dust and cobweb filled library.
Okay.
There doesn't appear to be anybody immediately around.
Perfect. So I look over at Idrissa. I apologize if this is going to be ridiculously boring for you, but and that's without any follow up to the but going off towards.
So there is sort of the library is like expansive. Like you look up and there's at least 6 or 7 levels above your head. And there is, like, the most prominent thing in front of you is this desk that looks like it would be like a librarian's counter.
Okay.
You
walk over to it, yeah.
You walk over to it, and the first thing you notice is a very well-dressed skeleton leaning back in a chair.
Lean forward on the counter. Hello.
It's like leaning back, like...
Okay. Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I'm doing it anyways, just in case.
So you lean forward and say hello.
Yep.
And as you do, the jaw that's sort of hanging loose... Oh, sorry. Someone's here. And
Quite
she sort
right.
of sits up.
Don't get a lot of visitors.
Oh, no, it's dreadfully boring. And sitting before you is again, a very well-dressed skeleton wearing sort of a black pea coat with a white ruffled shirt underneath it. Jewelry hanging off, like sort of a couple of different rings hanging off its right hand and a bracelet on its left wrist. Of course, it's all bone, so... just a bleached white skull with no indication of light or anything in the eyes, and a top hat. Okay. A top hat resting on its head, and a cane sitting nearby. It sort of reaches over, grabs the cane, orients it. Well, welcome to the Black Archives. I am the proprietor here, Jack Solsbach.
Jack
Who might you be? Solsbach.
Like soul is back, soul's back?
Solsbach. Like souls and Bach.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Jack. I'm Selena.
And
yes, we are here looking for information as much as would be relevant about what you would need to know if you were planning to travel to and survive the abyss. Smile.
Is that the infinite layers of the abyss below, or is that the swirling black mist outside?
Infinite layers.
Ah, okay. That's one.
There's not a whole lot of surviving when you jump into that abyss. I know there's not a lot of surviving when you go into the other abyss either, but there's at least somewhat more of a chance from what I understand.
Abyss. And he sort of like tilts his head and clicks his teeth. You're wondering how he's saying the S's.
Can I get like a, I don't know, Arcana roll to identify whether it's some particular type of undead or...
Give me an Arcana roll.
Just, I don't know, something. I will not give myself advantage on this one. Because I'm going to save that. 10. I don't know.
He's definitely an undead creature of some kind.
Okay. Well, the other option was like a
construct just using bones, yeah.
A construct using bones or illusionary, anything like that. So, okay, if he's an actual undead of some kind.
As far as you can tell, undead.
Okay.
He sort of tilts his head to one side. I believe I know exactly where you would want to look. Follow me! And he sort of stands up very sprightly and turns on his heel, slides the chair he was sitting in out of the way, grabs the cane, adjusts his top hat, and begins walking up the stairs that are behind the library desk.
Awesome.
Now, as you may or may not know, the infinite layers of the abyss is the chaotic evil realm, populated primarily by, well, evil demons. The realm itself is as twisted and complex as its denizens, but there are some few accounts of those who have traversed there and survived. Is there a particular layer you're interested in, or is it the whole shebang?
Don't know.
An inquisitive mind, then. Well, that's our favorite kind here. He sort of leads you up a couple of different flights of stairs to about the 3rd level. And as he walks, he takes the cane and just sort of slides it along, and you just hear this sort of tapping as the cane slides along the book spines and into a shelf, and continues on into a shelf and continues on, until he sort of stops. Ah, yes, here. Uses the cane to pull a book, which he pulls the book and it just sort of slides and it doesn't come all the way off. And instead, the bookshelf itself turns and opens up access to another series of bookshelves. Back in
my Horizon Walker, do I get the sense that this is the same plane, or if this is somewhat mystically separate?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay.
With advantage, because you are a Horizon Walker.
Yeah. I realize that it's probably not something I can use my detect portal on, because it's not quite that. But let's do the thing. Arcana.
Yeah.
Natural 20.
With natural 20, you get the sense that this is a demiplane.
Okay.
Like and actually, you think about, you didn't use your ability to detect portals, but you figured they probably would have detected the doorway. Yep. You're pretty certain that the door you walked through, and potentially the reason why it was asking questions, directs you to the demiplane of choice for whatever it wants.
Fair enough.
Which in this case was the Black Archives. He sort of indicates through the bookshelves. Do be careful, some of those books like to... Well, bite's not the right word, but... Oh, you'll find out.
I like to take a piece.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, okay. Much appreciated, Jack.
He nods his head, and the two of you walk through.
Mm-hmm.
And the bookshelf slides closed behind you. And you're in sort of basically a series of 4 stacks that have been sort of cordoned off from the rest of the area, and they're just nothing but books on the shelves, all written in Abyssal.
Fortunately, I believe I speak that.
While you're there, Baldrin, what did you roll in your investigation check?
It was a 14.
All right. So what were you looking for again? What's going on?
What the item of commodity was important to this gala.
So, I mean, you don't find that specifically, but you do find you do get word that there is sort of a mercantile mixer happening in the city today. Basically a bunch of merchants from various different unions, including several of the ones that are owned by the Beargrins, are having a get together in sort of the market district of the city, which is potentially a place you could go to get information.
I will head to that then.
All right. Yeah, you find it's easy enough to find. You find your way over. It's an open bazaar. There are rows of trade stalls that have been sort of set up to cordon off this area in fairly standard merchant style. The mixer is also a wares display and purchase location. And so there's various, basically all of the interesting things that might not get sold regularly are brought out and put on shelves here. You see a wide variety of magical knickknacks and other artisanal crafted things. And several dozen merchants.
All right. I'm gonna try and wander around, take a look over the wares, hang around any of the Berrigan ones that I recognize as owned by the Berrigans. See if there's any information that I can gather on what's happening at the gala later in the month.
Give me another investigation roll with advantage because you're in your element.
Investigation 15.
Okay. Yeah, 1 second. Sorry, I'm looking at things. So you get to talking with a couple of people that are working with the inside the magical item stall. Oh, we've lost Sarah's camera.
Sorry.
That's okay. There it is. You start having a conversation with the folks that are running the magical item stalls, and one of the conversation pieces you get on is the idea that whatever Berrigan is showing off, it apparently is magical. And the only statement that anybody has heard is that it is something that will provide a alternative to bodyguards and in some cases military units.
I'm already having a terrible thought.
Those are the best thoughts.
With that knowledge, how difficult is it to procure an invite to this gala by legitimate above table means?
It's invite only, so you'd have to be somebody that Berrigan wanted there.
Mm-hmm.
You're not certain how Sharoon got a hold of his, but that'd be a person you could ask.
Yeah. So the only legitimate way is to get the Berrigan's attention.
Yeah, be one of the people that he wants to show this off to. So you imagine, if just based on those phrases, you imagine it'd be wealthy merchants, people that could use wealthy merchants and nobles, people that could use bodyguards or would want to sell this product, whatever it is.
I mean, at the moment, I currently qualify as a wealthy merchant.
Not quite this level of wealth, but
yeah, I know.
Also, your wealth was recently acquired, not acquired through trade, which would make you known to the Berrigans.
Yeah.
Your new money.
Your novo riche.
Which basically gives me his plan for the rest of basically the month is to basically start a storm of business, because as a forge cleric, I can make equipment material in basically no time flat. So I need to do so much business so quickly and garner as much attention as possible on the business spectrum that hopefully the Berrigans will take notice.
All right. So you have a plan for that then. Is there anything else you want to do? Like, do you want to do any sort of research or information gathering about, the place you want to go to?
Yeah, I think I should definitely, while I'm doing business, I'll definitely be keeping an ear to the ground on the gala itself and what's going on, who's attending.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff that you can learn just by doing business transactions with people that are in the know.
It's true. All right. Well, you've got your plan. 5. Is there anything you want to do?
I want to buy something at the magical item shop.
There are a wide variety of items that you could buy.
All right.
What would draw your eye?
Oh, what looks like it might taste the best?
My God.
There is a stall that is selling a variety of multicolored beads. That are being touted as a day's worth of meals in pellet form.
Something that is being sold as food this time.
So
All right.
good berry magic items.
I go lick them.
Do some common magical items.
As you as you try to get up to the display case, you lean out to try to lick, and your face hits just like an invisible wall.
Yes.
Oh!
And the merchant looks at you like, if you'd like a sample, we have a dish over here.
Ooh.
And he will sort of fish out a sample of one of these beads and sort of hand it over to you.
No one knows what they're dealing with when 5 is involved.
I put it in my mouth. What does it taste like?
So this one in particular it's sort of spongy and flavorless, and it just, as you put it in your mouth, it just dissolves on your tongue and flows down the back of your throat, and you feel full, as if you had a full day's meal. Like you're not hungry anymore.
5 is immediately suspicious.
Not to your liking. Well, we also have this one, if you'd like. And he holds sort of a purplish one.
Set him on fire.
I eat the purple one.
As it hits your tongue, it immediately turns into cold drinking water that, again, flows down your throat. And you have a drink.
I like that one. The food one is still confusing.
And and there's sort of a sign sort of explaining what these are. These are beads of nourishment and refreshment.
Ooh.
And they're bought by the sack.
Oh, by the sack? They don't have like a necklace or something?
No. They're like little. It's like sort of a little pouch that you can reach into and grab one and throw it back. It seems they are currently being sold for basically 10 is 50 gold.
Okay. I would like to buy some of the refreshment beads.
So yeah, 50 gold will get you a bag of 10 beads of refreshment.
Okay. I give him 50 gold.
All right. He takes it. Pleasure doing business with you. And yeah, each one of these beads dissolves into a pint of basically a pint of. So you can, and he'll explain. You can put this in any liquid, or just in your mouth, and it will turn up to a pint of liquid into clean, fresh drinking water. Or you can just suck it down for a drink. It has no effect on magical liquids or poisons, but if you have dirty water, you can drop it in and it'll clean it up.
Ooh. Okay, now I go look for something that looks like someone in my party wouldn't want me to have it because I might be a threat to myself or others. There's one stall that is selling a variety of things that look magical and weird and arcane. If you look up the word arcane in the dictionary, these would be the pictures next to it. Yes, please.
And the person sort of behind the stall here has these deep purple robes lined with black. And just their face is covered partially in shadow. They're really selling up the mystical arcane secrets thing. So it looks at you and, what might I interest you in? So the things that he has, there is one of the things that's sort of hanging, that's visible in this display case, is an amulet fashioned from a shard of some sort of material that it doesn't look natural when you look at it. It looks like it might be a shard of fixed reality. The material that whatever it is in moves independently of the amulet itself, and it just sort of has this purple and black smoky look to the inside of it. There is also a very silly looking cone-shaped hat adorned with gold crescent moons and stars.
Ooh.
There is a small crystal sphere, like sort of on a pillow on a pillow that glows with magical energy, and another one right next to it that glows a slightly different color. There is a small red ruby that is etched with eldritch runes.
5 points at the amulet.
Ah, this, yes. This is a dark shard amulet. Fashioned from a bit of extraplanar stuff. It is quite potent to those that use it and have, say, draw their powers from extraplanar sources.
Oh, 5 doesn't know where she gets her powers from. She points at the hat.
Oh, well. It's slightly out of place here, but this is a hat of wizardry. It's useful for those who have studied the more academic aspects of magic.
Oh, that's not 5. She points at the crystal ball.
Ah, these two are an orb of direction and an orb of time. When you use either, one tells you which direction is north, and you will always know it innately no matter where you are. The other determines whether it is morning, afternoon, evening, or nighttime, regardless of if you are underground or in some ancient caves or catacombs.
Compass and a clock.
Yep.
All right, what was the last thing? I almost had it.
It was a ruby etched with eldritch runes.
Oh, okay. 5 points to that.
Ah, this one is particularly special. This is a small ruby that, if you attach it to any sort of weapon, any magical user will be able to use that weapon as their focus for arcane magics. Fancy yourself a sword mage? Slap this onto a blade, and not only can you use the blade to slash and stab and duel, but you can also harness the magical arcane powers within through it.
5 starts laughing because she thinks of Boldrin's giant thing that he made and gets really excited.
There's also a pair of wands off to the side. There's like sort of a rack of wands, each slightly different in color and design.
Oh. All right, why not? Tell me. She points at those.
Ah, these are a wide variety of experimental wands that some of our artisans have been crafting. This one is a wand of conducting. You can, if you are sort of musically inclined, you can use it to craft and create orchestral styles of music just by waving it through the air, as if you were directing a band. This one creates harmless bursts of multicolored light that you can launch for decorative and festive uses. And these, well, these are best experienced rather than described. And he picks up the last two and looks out at the crowd and points. Now, look at that dour-looking fellow. And he sort of points, and there's sort of a grumpy-looking dwarf that's just working on an anvil.
It's not Boldrin, right?
It's not Boldrin. It's just
okay.
That's a random dwarf. Watch this. And he points, and magical energy erupts from the wand, and about halfway between him and the dwarf, it fades into invisibility. And you just see the dwarf suddenly break into the biggest grin you've ever seen, and look confused as to why he's grinning.
And this one, and he flips to the other one and points and at the same dwarf and fires it, and that grin just as soon as it hits, that grin just immediately turns into the deepest scowl you've ever seen.
Oh.
These are, of course, our demonstration models. If you wish to purchase one, I can get you one that is fully charged and fresh.
5 points at the one that he used to make the smiling. And then points at, holds up a gold piece, how much?
The wands are 25 gold each. If you're interested in any of the other magical items, the ruby and the hat and the amulet are 50 gold each.
Ooh. 5 will pay him for the wand of the smiles and the ruby.
All right. You have purchased a wand of smiles and a ruby of the war mage, as well as a bag of beads of refreshment. So you now have, I'll put them in magical items in a minute, but you now have a wand of smiles. Which the wand has 3 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend one of its charges and target a humanoid you can see within 30 feet of you. The target must succeed a DC 10 Charisma saving throw or be forced to smile for 1 minute. And when the wand regains all of its expended charges daily at dawn, if you expend the wand's last charge, roll a d20, and on a 1, it transforms into a wand of scowls.
The Wand of Scowls is the other one that he used, and also if you spend all of that one's charges, it might turn into a Wand of Smiles.
Exactly. The Ruby of the War Mage is basically it's exactly what I said. If you attach it to any weapon, you spend 10 minutes and attaching it to a weapon, and you can use that weapon as your arcane focus. So, meaning that even if you're holding it, it doesn't, you cast your magic through it, so it doesn't matter if you're holding it in your hands when you're casting using somatic components. Yep. All right. So after your day of conversation is done, Boldred, you turn to C5 now with a wand.
Nope, she's put that shit away. She's not showing that to anybody.
It's all in your bag then. And you just turn to C5 looking at stuff.
Hey there, lass. How's your day been?
He just gives you a thumbs up.
Good. Well, I've got plans. I'm probably going to be busy for the most of the next month, so you're free to either continue to tag along with me, although it's going to be a lot of boring business, or do as you please, I suppose.
All right. And back at the library. So, Selena and Argentall, you guys are in this 4 stacks of books. What you doing?
She looks around, realizes that she did not think this through very well. Because she does not speak Abyssal, as we have established.
Oh, but you know who does?
You're not there. Hush.
That's why I'm not there.
And just says, fuck.
Need some help?
That depends. Do you read Abyssal?
Yep.
You are
What
my
did
new
the book
best.
say?
You are my new best fucking friend.
Happy to be of service.
They say a lot of things. Is there something in particular you're looking for? Mostly titles, but...
Yes. Mostly the books presumably have titles on.
Most of them do. Not all of them do,
Typically
but most of
what-
them do.
You're looking for abyss stuff. Anything specific or?
How to get in there, how to find things that, well, not how to get in there. We've got that, and I don't need to waste time trying to find stuff that I don't, well, assumedly we will. I don't need to waste time trying to research stuff that I'm not necessarily going to need. So how to survive traveling there, how to survive there, how to get out, and how to find things in there.
Okay, without actually touching any of the books, because I am the slightest bit genre savvy, gonna look for relevant titles.
There is one that has there's one that reads The Palace of 1,001 Closets. There is another that reads The Realm of a Million Eyes. There is another that reads 12 Trees. One that reads Death's Reward. One that reads
Nothing like My Journey into the Abyss, a beginner's guide.
No, nothing like that. One that reads In the Realm of Loth. One that reads The Gates of Heaven. One that reads The Wells of Darkness. One that reads The Writhing Realm, and you sort of get a trend. Like none of these have like very easy to ascertain what they're about.
Don't suppose you have anything more specific.
More specific than exactly
I'll sort of read off some of the titles. Just not really sure what.
I hate wizards so much.
Well, that's not nice, you hear a voice saying from off to the side.
Look over.
Jack's there.
Oh, hey, Jack. As a group, not individual ones. It just as a whole. Anyways.
Oh, I'm not a wizard anyways. I'm a bard.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah. So. This is a lot. Where do I narrow down what I'm looking for?
By narrowing down what you're looking for. Is there a particular plane you're looking to read about, or is there
the abyss?
There are infinite layers to the abyss.
I understand that.
Is there a particular layer of the abyss?
No.
You're looking for someone, right?
Yes.
Do you know which layer of the abyss they were taken to? Do you know who may have taken them, and what connection they have to any individual layer?
Sure.
It seems like you need to talk about this with someone who isn't invested.
What?
Why do you need to go?
Because there's somebody who got taken to the abyss and we need to get them.
I'm not judging you.
The abyss.
How do you know they're still in the abyss?
We don't. Okay, I have to start somewhere, right?
He points to one of the books that says that reads The Palace of 1,001 Closets. I think you should start there.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Too much talking, not enough reading.
Then
talking to me to tell me what it is.
Which one of you reaches out to grab the book?
Ladies first.
Grab for it.
All right, we need a wisdom saving throw.
Awesome. My best save. And by best, I mean worst.
It's almost like demons prey on wisdom, not charisma.
14! That's not terrible.
So you feel this sort of pull as you grab the book, and you pull it back, and you go to hand it to Yggdrasil, and you can't let go of it.
I look at the book.
You can open it, you just can't let go of it.
Yeah, I look at the book. Listen, asshole.
It doesn't say anything back. It's a book.
I'm going to get what I need to know. And I look over
Let's not
Jack.
Being sober for this.
I look over at Jack.
He smiles.
Look back. Look at Jack. And I shrug and I look back and go, well, you are attached to my hand. I need to point out that I can create flames from my hand at will.
The book does nothing.
It's a book.
All right, I'm just saying. I open the book.
You open the book. Give me another wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 13.
The words that you see before you warp and twist, and you feel the fraying edges of your sanity begin to close in as Jack reaches over and smacks you in the back of the head with his cane.
Ow!
You drop the book. You're welcome.
Thanks. Wasn't sure how I was going to handle that one.
He shrugs. He holds his hands up like this. I'm a bard.
Let me see if I understand this right, Jack. I just want to make sure I understand the situation. You gave me a book to read, and then I understand it's dangerous. You gave me a dangerous book to read, and then when I tried to read it, you hit me, so I stopped reading it.
It looked like you were about to start frothing at the mouth and trying to chew off your friend's face, so I was just stopping that before it happened.
I'm sure I'll go over to. I'm sure you have ways you can stop me from doing that, right? If that were to happen.
Perhaps your friend should pick up the book.
Yeah, go for it.
Whatever.
Reach out and pick it up.
Pull it up.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
I like how the concern wasn't the going mad at the mouth and frothing at the mouth, going insane and frothing in the mouth. It was the you can handle that, right? If I go insane.
So you pick it up, and your hand sort of clenches around it, and you realize that you can't let go of it.
Okay.
And yes, he did remove curse via method of hitting you with his cane.
Yes.
Yep.
Which is amazing.
High enough level that even if I had access to that spell. Yeah. Open the book.
Give me another wisdom saving
I'm going to
throw.
bend luck.
So
2
you have
sorcery points to give you an extra D4.
All right, so
Okay.
roll a D20
Or I guess
and a D4.
I roll a D4 and you get the bonus.
There we go.
Okay.
Either way, wisdom save.
16 plus
20.
20.
All right. So yeah, you open the book, and the words begin to shift, but through force of will and this strange feeling of fortune, you just sort of exert your will upon the book, and then the letters stop moving, and you can read it. And
Okay.
you read. What the book is basically a detailed. The book is mostly. Sarah, your microphone is jostling whenever you move. I don't know if it's hanging in a weird place or not. Mostly what you read is a trap. The book seems designed to devour the mind of anybody who opens it if they're not strong enough will. The rest of it is a actually remarkably short accounting of the first layer of the abyss, Pazunia, also known as the Palace of 1,001 Closets. It's an infinite plane that only has 3 distinct features. The river Styx, which flows through it, as it does through the top layers of all the other evil planes. Large sinkholes, which connect it to other layers of the abyss, some which were drilled intentionally by ancient demons during the abyss's original exploration, and the largest of which is the Grand Abyss, and iron fortresses, which guard the physical bodies of demon princes when they leave the abyss to travel astrally. It seems that this is the plane that demon lords come to when they want to leave. It's also typically the first plane you enter, and has the most connections to other planes. The first layer you enter in has the most connection to other planes. Basically, if you come to the abyss in here, you can then leave from here to go to almost any other plane. Sort of as like a step through, which would make it really hard to follow. As well as
he's reading, he'll sort of explain and relate this information to Selena.
She is paying attention. She is being a good student.
And so the idea is that in addition to connecting to all of the other layers of the abyss, it also connects to all of the other planes. As sort of basically as a way when anything dies, it comes here. As well as people who are foolhardy enough to try to summon demons can sometimes also get sucked here. Traversing Pazunia, you have to avoid the sinkholes, the fortresses, the demons that roam around randomly, killing anything that comes in sight, and the portals to other dimensions.
Yep.
Piece of cake.
Also the river Styx. If you fall in the river Styx, you die.
Yeah. Don't get wet. Understood. All right. Well, that seems to be the place to start. It's good to know. Tells us a little bit about what to avoid and what to...
It also might create some complications, because I'm assuming we're not exactly sure where, if your friend started on this layer, where they were taken or went from there.
No, but that would be once we get there, figuring it out from there. I mean, that's just step 2.
Jack smacks you
Got
on the
it.
back of the head and you drop the book.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have you considered scrying on the person who is left, who you are trying to find?
That is a Yes, I have considered that. It's not something that I can do, but
It's
yes.
Not something that
I don't have the money to pay to front the money for a scry.
I might. I don't know. It was something that if we need to do, I absolutely can.
Well,
but
in order to narrow down the current known number of layers, he says, and just for your edification, there are currently 666 known layers to the abyss. There are obviously more, considering it is infinite. You may wish to have somebody take a look at your friend and see if they can find them before you leap headfirst into a realm of demons who want nothing more than to flay this flesh from your bones and eat the rest. Fortunately, I don't have that problem.
That sounds like a Monday to me.
Fair enough.
It
was a Monday for me once.
We've got to talk about. I want to know so much about you at some point, but I only have about a month, so now is probably not the time. That is a very good point, though. Thank you for the suggestion.
Well, if you would like, there are other members of this building that have the power of divination.
Are they?
I would suggest asking the Minotaur. He's the nicest of the bunch. Or the shadowy boy.
I mean, are they?
He's the most.
Are they members of? I suppose I should ask this of you. Are you a magister?
Yes.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Well, transcendentally, but
that's enough of a level of distance that I'm okay with it. And the rest of them are too.
Yes.
Everybody here is.
The nicest one is the Minotaur. The most likely to help you is the shadowy one. He's a bit of an altruist.
An altruist?
Yes.
Duly noted.
If I knew this person, I would just deal with it myself, but
no, it's fine. Thank you for the advice, Jack. I might do that at some point. But for now, I think let's go meet up with everybody else.
He reaches over with his cane and pulls a book, and the bookshelf turns. And he just sort of nods. As you guys step out, the bookshelf closes, and Jack is already out there.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Jack.
And he leads you down the stairs. Well then, if you have any further reading requirements, please feel free to come. The easiest way to get through is to simply tell the door you wish to go to the Black Archives.
Black Archives.
Yes.
Got it.
And he sits down in the chair and immediately just collapses back like a long dead skeleton.
Night.
Just,
All right. And
you guys head out.
yep.
Open the door.
Exit. Presumably not pursued by bear.
You exit through the door. Find yourselves back on the street outside this squat 2-story ramshackle-looking building.
Well, that was that was much more pleasant than I was afraid it was going to be.
You know, there's so many stories I'm gonna drag out of you once I figure out how much alcohol it takes to get you drunk.
I mean, a lot, but noted. Let's see if we can go find a fucking dwarf.
All right.
You all had sort of indicated that you would meet up back at the Adventurers Guild.
Yeah.
Going there, you find each other.
All right.
I'm assuming I'm allowed in the bar part of the Adventurers Guild.
So long as you're with other members, yeah.
Yeah. I'll pace myself because I have to pay for my drinks here.
You do. Yeah, so you guys meet up. Corbin's there. Hope and Kaylin are also there. And Baldrin at 5, and the 2 of you as well. Corbin just looks. So, how'd it go?
Went well. I've got a good potential starting point. Got some ideas. Yeah.
Looks over at Baldrin.
It's not. This is marginally less of a suicide mission. So good news. Yeah. Look over at Baldrin. How did your thing go?
You're muted.
You're muted, William.
Sorry. I've got more plans forming. One's fairly forthcoming. Likely the one I'm going to be pursuing.
Okay.
Well, I got my ox, so I'm happy.
Good.
Oh, it's not. It survived the trip.
Yes, it did.
Awesome.
He just sort of gives you a look. He has his helmet on, by the way, so his eyes are just glowing red as he looks at you.
Of course he does. Because why would you not wear that all the time? It's the greatest thing. All right. Well, I mean, I feel like I'm going to be busy for the next month.
As am I.
So, weren't you... And he sort of looks over at Baldrin. Weren't you talking about going into the tower?
Aye, but reports are that those leaving the tower find it differently laid out when they return to it, and
Yep.
we won't be able to get too much progress in the span of a month. At least.
That is,
At
if
least-
a month is still a month for you.
This is true. I don't know that some of our members are willing to take that risk.
Nope. Unfortunately not. Otherwise, I would be down.
I mean, we might not get far in a month, but we could at least see if there's some sort of clue as to what you're wanting to do in there. Nobody
It's
that comes
true.
back out of it reports that it like alters time flow or anything like that.
Okay, so last time you asked me, I rolled really high on this, and I asked you, and I rolled really high on this, and you said it sometimes does. It's just not consistent.
Yeah,
How
you know
Yeah.
that. You know that. Corbin doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
you're
a fair
intentionally
point.
giving us misinformation through an NPC'd PC. Got it. Yggdrasil will actually sort of, the wings will kind of do that thing that birds do when they're slightly confronted or perturbed, like
So-
cats perk up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, not exactly true.
Oh.
Can alter time flow. Doesn't always. But you never know what you're going to get on a lottery wheel.
I mean, I'm up for doing it if no one else is.
I'm
Have fun
definitely.
in the tower alone then, because
I strongly
would
desire
love
to.
to join you, but I cannot do so for a month. I am employed.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd love to head in, but I'm not going in unless we got everyone.
By the way, not sure about the suicide mission to the Abyss yet. As I said, I don't know you people. However, totally down for going into the tower. Look me up if you survive the demons of hell and if I don't decide to join you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not too sold on the demons of hell either, Corbin says, looking at Selena.
Technically,
yeah,
the demons
this
of
is
the
my-
infinite layers
Yeah,
of the
correct.
Abyss.
Yeah,
so
correction. Hell is where devils come from.
Sorry.
Hell's a different
Abyss.
one.
Devils
This
of
is my
hell, demons of the
stunned look.
abyss.
Either way,
Corbin's not entirely on board with this plan. It's fine.
oh, I guess I'll take some jobs then. And he goes over to the job board and starts looking at things.
Cool. All right.
Um,
Well, I'm assuming it's fairly late in the day at this
Oh
point.
yeah, it's evening. The night has fallen. So
sort of look over. Goes to 5. Sorry if we got off on the wrong foot. I didn't catch a name earlier.
5.
Nice to meet you. 5.
Five just gives a yeah, I'm busy kind of nod and continues doing absolutely nothing.
I'm busy doing nothing.
that's a energy absorbing task. All right. So
I know being brushed off when I see it, and I'll go back to talking to whoever's willing to talk to me.
So, presumably, you guys eventually go to bed. So, over the course
Yeah.
of the next month, what do you want to do?
Selena's
Make sure they don't die. That probably mostly involves.
We'll at least look into the how much what it's going to take to get some scrying done.
Well, that's pretty easy information. You know, any priest can, almost any priest can, almost any cleric, I should say, can scry for a price. Also, most high-level magic users can scry for a price.
Right.
There are also some magical items that can be bought that allow you to scry independently. They're not quite as reliable as having somebody actually cast the spell, but...
I mean, I wouldn't say most any cleric, considering scrying is a 5th level spell. But, you know.
You can find a cleric from any temple that can do it.
Right.
Because NPC clerics don't follow the same level progression that PC clerics do. They get scrying at level 1, and that's it.
They can only do scrying.
They can
and
only
occasionally cure wounds.
scrying and cure wounds and resurrections. Those are their 3 spells that they know. And it all costs money. And then Jack had previously told you that the Minotaur or the Shadowy
before
one.
we start talking to the Magisters, because, you know,
That's fair.
anti-wizard prejudices.
Yep. Selena has a lot of prejudices.
Or
I
specifically
definitely heard hentai wizard prejudices as opposed to anti-wizard prejudices, which is just fantastic all around.
Nope.
There was no H on that word. Anyways,
homebrewed class, hentai wizard.
No.
they just have nothing
No.
but tentacle-based spells.
Yeah.
No.
Arms of
They'll,
Hadar.
they'll resurrect you, but only like this.
Anyways,
Once you get resurrected, you don't want to be alive anymore.
moving off that subject. Rapidly and at great speed.
Okay. anyways, so she will.
Are you going to a young priest, an old priest, or the magistrate?
Nothing. She will go to Aradnir's temple.
Okay. Speaking of hentai wizards.
No.
Aradnir is the goddess of desire. Anyways.
Yes. And see if somebody there
would
be willing to spray on someone for them.
There are several very lightly dressed female elf clerics there.
Oh, of course, that's why you'd go there.
That's not the only reason. That's
like if you look at the image of Aradnir, the cleric's vestments fall in line.
That is not the only reason. Just Aradnir is one of the many deities that she venerates.
Probably the one that she venerates the most, but
pretty close. Either that or to the surprise of no one, the elemental one.
Elemental Chaos.
Yes.
The Plane Shaper.
I mean, she's a fire genasi wild mage sorcerer. He's the elemental chaos. I think it's sort of like
they are the elemental chaos.
They.
The last person who misgendered the elemental chaos was turned into a chicken at random. Nobody misgenders the elemental chaos.
Duly noted.
Okay. So if Lavis reincarnates, that needs to be a function. I'm joking. I'm sorry.
No, that's funny. So regardless, yes, I'm going there asking if there is anybody who would be willing to scry on someone for me.
Oh yeah. They are more than willing to. Voyeurism is in.
I thought that was funny.
So yeah.
Oh,
no. You can get let me look at the thing real quick.
Don't know you people.
It costs it will cost you 1,000 gold.
Well, shit. Going elsewhere.
That is the cost of the spell. And that's the lowest anyone will go on a scrying spell.
Yeah.
To purchase.
No, that's fair. I'm going to look for magical items then. See if I can find anything cheaper.
As a reminder, Selena does still have most of Nyx's gold.
You're not wrong.
I don't know if she would want to use it in this case or ever.
Oh, she has no qualms about that.
Nyx had a poverty vow type thing, so didn't.
Oh well, shit.
Yeah, and somebody has all of 5 gold too.
I think Hope has your gold.
Yeah, Hope has a lot of 5 gold.
Can you read off how much money that is on Nyx's character sheet? Because I took all that off when I actually divvied that stuff back.
I can't, but I can go back and chat. That might take me a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's right. I wrote it in chat.
Sorry, because I didn't.
No, that's fine.
I only recorded what Nyx had on his person.
Basically, double your gold.
I mean, it's something like that.
Basically double the amount of gold you have because it was an equal share you divvied out.
Yeah.
Well, with a little skin.
Because I remember there were several platinum, and Nyx kept 1 platinum.
There it is. I found it.
Okay, great. Sorry for making things complicated.
Nope, never mind. I had already counted it in, so I still don't have enough.
You don't have 10 platinum?
100 platinum.
Oh no, I do have enough. Never mind.
Oh yeah, no, it would be 100 platinum.
I never look at platinum.
It would be 100 platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it'd be the amount listed, I think, minus 1 platinum and 2 gold.
Hold on, I need to do some math here.
All right.
No, you're fine. 635 plus
So
160.
during the month, keeping them alive, also seeing if I don't have an income from my job of doing this, making some money on the side by helping out the adventuring one.
Sure.
Also, do I get an income from?
Yeah, you have an income.
Okay.
You have a regular income. I will tell you what it is in a minute.
Because he's got something he's saving up for, so he'd like money if he can get it.
Yeah. You get 10 gold a week, so you'll get an extra 40 gold.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can get any more from
We will see.
Essentially signing on to Corbin's jobs or something.
Yeah.
Or helping Boldrin if he needs someone working.
So before I drop that amount, I can barely, but before I do, I'm gonna look for magical items and see if maybe I can find one cheaper.
Any magical item that does the same thing is going to be more expensive.
Okay. I don't know. He says they're less reliable, so
They are, but they're made and they're being sold. You could try to bargain someone down for one, but sort of base cost is going to be more expensive than a scrying spell.
all right. Well, yep. I drop. Then I will go back to Aradnir's.
Hmm?
And yep.
Okay. They take you over to a large bowl of water and indicate you'll be able to see what we see through the bowl. And begin to cast the spell. Before they do, they ask if you have any items of personal value of the person, a description of them,
Probably.
their name.
Description and name for sure.
Yeah.
I actually don't think I do have anything of.
The ring, but it's a ring of non-detection, which kind of
screws the whole thing.
Actually, no, because it's only non-detection in the area you're in. So unless Nyx is within 60 feet of you, that it wouldn't actually be an issue.
Yeah, I was about to say no detection
you
stops
can
stuff from
use
coming
a
in.
ring of detection to track. That is just perfect.
Yeah, you can.
That fits with. Fine, there we go then.
It's an item that Nyx wore for an extended period of time. So.
Yep.
Yeah, because the ring of non-detection stops stuff from coming in, not going out.
Yep. So they sort of toss the ring into the water, and with the description and everything, you have performed the spell casting. And you watching the water, you see. First, you see Core.
Mm-hmm.
Then it shifts, going across the plains north to Vigilant, then stopping, going south to the forest, and then zooming in. You find yourself looking at the burnt out remains of a village.
Okay.
And in the middle of it, you find the stripped bare body of Nyx, tied to what appears to be some sort of ritualistic altar. And you see the grinning masked form of Umbra standing above him, with chanting, robed cultists around. And you could swear Umbra looks right at you before plunging a knife into Nyx's throat, and the vision fades.
Hold on just a second here.
The cleric looks quite shaken.
Like, I wasn't expecting that.
Are we figuring out how badly this is going to go in a second?
No, we're seeing if there's anything ridiculously stupid that can do.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
It's all right. I read it.
Let's see, to an ability check, attack roll, or saving. Damn it. That doesn't apply for that. That's exactly what I'm trying to figure out is if I can voluntarily cause a wild surge.
I mean, roll a d100.
All right.
Magic just goes off.
There is a very slight chance that could result in a teleportation.
I have the power to trigger. I have the power to trigger wild magic surges whenever I want because I'm the GM.
52. Oh, good, a spectral shield. That helps me.
So as Selena as you see this vision cut out, you just feel this surge of emotion that pours out of you, forming a sort of a pink glowing shield that just sort of hovers around you for a minute. The cleric looks at you, confused.
So that's how it so that's how that would channel that way for. This is gonna piss the person she just paid 100 gold off.
1,000 gold.
But 1,000 gold. But just sort of instinctually, she shrieks and fires her Genasi burning hands into the pool like she was trying to aim at.
Yeah, that's fine.
At Umbra.
Yeah.
So you just fire erupts from your hands and pours into the water, which steams out, sort of clouding the entire room in steam as you just evaporate the water in this bowl.
And then she just turns around and stalks out.
Yep. And you do
leaving the ring.
There is a ring now, just sort of sitting in the bottom of the bowl.
Let's see if she remembers it. She snatches up the ring.
You have resistance to fire damage, right?
Yes, yeah. I do.
So you take 7 points of fire damage. That's already factoring in your reduction. As you grab a burning hot piece of metal that you just lit on fire.
Fine.
And it just sort of singes in your hand as you stomp out, leaving chaos in your wake, which is fairly appropriate.
Yes, which is appropriate.
As they, rush to see if the cleric is okay and if anything else happened.
I think I may have been excommunicated.
I mean, that was an emotional response that people can assume would happen when they see someone they probably care about.
I mean, that's true.
Also, you're in the church. You're in the temple of the goddess of passion and desire. So
that's true.
That entire sentence was muted, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron, everything you said was muted.
I was gonna say it's a temple of passion and desire. They're probably glad that happened over, like, someone being murdered and not like your ex got together with a different person.
That's what they typically get scry requests for.
Does this mean we don't have to go to the abyss?
I mean, you still can if you want. So, Selena, where are you stomping off
Don't
to?
know that.
She
Well,
is just
I
stomping
know,
off in
just-
her own.
Just in her own direction?
Yes.
All right.
And she
Meanwhile-
probably won't be seen for the next until it's time for the mission.
Okay. So, Selena...
Axel will probably make an effort to check in just to make sure she's alive.
Yeah, she's wearing the non-detection ring.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, I wasn't gonna try and scry, but
No, yeah. She is trying to stay
You-
away from people.
Agdrasil, with your particular connections, you will be able to find people who have seen Selena. You might not be able to find Selena
Mostly just-
yourself, but...
if she seems like she wants to be alone, he's not gonna approach her directly, but he is gonna try and, like, knowing enough people around the city and stuff, make sure there's, like, verified sightings that she hasn't gone off and, like,
you
blown up a building and died or something.
You work for an information broker. Non-detection rings only prevent magical finding, not people on the street. So,
Yeah.
and
Like, it's just because that happens to adventurers.
that's true. No, you are well. You will well enough be able to keep tabs on
Yeah.
Selena
Yeah.
for the month.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Baldrin,
I got a month of making money.
make me 4 smithing tools checks with your whatever your highest ability modifier is.
That would be my wisdom, which is fitting because I'm doing this as a cleric.
No, and it's so you're using your knowledge of smithing with your sort of innate ability to guide the hammer. So make me 4 of those.
14, 22, 20, and 15.
All right, roll me 4 d20s.
Six, 18, 13, 13.
And then multiply each d20 result by the blacksmithing result in a row.
Okay,
So
so that's going to be
14 times 6, 22 times 18, 20 times 13, and 15 times 13.
14 times 6. All right, no, that's not 14. I use
And then
asterisks. 14 times 6. 22 times 18.
And then Agdrasol, give me 4 of your whatever your highest relevant to questing skill roll is.
Damn it. I'm not actually proficient in any dexterity skills.
And then add all those together once you're done, William.
So
like survival
would
be
perception or
appropriate.
insight be considered a relevant skill?
Perception, yes. Insight, no.
935.
Actually, would survival, it's the
Survival,
same thing, but
yeah.
would
Survival
be
would
relevant?
also be relevant. Yes.
Okay.
So you got 935 gold over the course of the month from selling your wares.
Okay, that's pretty good, mostly.
Then roll me a D100, William. Okay, Aaron, roll 4 D20s.
35.
I did.
No,
Or
not four just flat D20s.
Okay. Wait a second. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, now multiply each of the results of your survival rolls by each of those D20 in sequential order.
All right.
So,
I'm gonna ask that you move to someone else real quick
Yeah,
because that's going
that's
to
fine.
take me an embarrassingly long time.
that's fine. 5, were you doing anything over the course of the month?
Yes. 5 was going to take several hours of each day to go try out her new polymorph spell. She does this by transforming into like a horse or something else that runs really fast and just going out and running around.
Okay, you do that. You have quite a lot of fun transforming into a horse and roaming around outside the city.
I eat apples. And I do other horse stuff.
Right? And Aaron, once you've got all that, add all those results together.
Yep.
I also would like to go to some place, like, are there newspapers?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to go to, like, wherever that is and read about local events. And see if there's any news on anybody that sounds anything like the people who previously abducted me, and if so, I'd like to go find out more information about those people.
In what sense? Because that's happened twice.
The second time.
The Rangers?
Not the Rangers. No, the people before
that.
Oh.
Yeah.
The people I was with before.
Got it.
But I don't do this in horse form. I go in person form.
There does not seem to be any information about them in the newspapers.
5 is both relieved and a little disappointed. Because what's the point in burning down someone's entire life and killing all of them if you don't even make the papers?
There is information about something that may or may not have caught your eye. There is someone issuing a standing challenge to all competitors, offering some sort of magnificent reward if they defeat them in single combat within the city of Core.
Ooh.
They have had over 1,000 challengers and haven't been beaten yet.
What kind of a person is offering that challenge?
The person is a massive man, seemingly human, with long white hair, sort of tied in a braid going down his back, and he seems to wield a great sword and not wear very much in the way of armor.
Oh.
Does this person perform these challenges in a public setting?
Yes.
I would like to go and observe.
There's sort of a parks area of Core, near the temple to Core himself, actually, where this person sort of is challenging people, sort of underneath a tree in sort of a little clearing. You go and watch?
Yes.
Sure. So yeah, you see a variety of people, and at one point you see Corbin attempting to challenge him, because Corbin would.
Yeah.
And he moves with everything that he does seems natural, but doesn't seem like it should be natural. As like he most of the time he avoids taking damage by avoiding being hit. He's a very large and well-built, muscular man as well. Like, you wouldn't think he'd be as agile as he is, just considering his physique, but he simply avoids being where attacks are coming from and retaliates, typically with 1 or 2 strikes, knocking people down to the ground or throwing them out of the arena that he's sort of a makeshift arena that he's put together. He doesn't seem to be raging like a barbarian would. He also doesn't seem to be using magic or anything like that. He simply is, for the most part, beating these challengers through sheer force of skill. Even those that are using magic against him, it seems as if their magic seems to be ineffective, or he is just really good at getting out of the way. You know, one person throws a fireball, and he just simply pushes through the flames, seemingly unaffected.
While he's fighting, there's a gnome with a wand of conduction off to the side, playing music, just going dun dun dun.
Always. He's not nearly as lithe as Sephiroth. You could stack 3 Sephiroths inside him, basically, is how broad he is.
I'm basically picturing this as the Sephiroth fight in Kingdom Hearts, where it's like the optional boss fight that you're not supposed to be able to beat easily.
Kind of. That's a way to envision it. Yeah. He's apparently offering some sort of fantastic reward, but nobody is able to get it.
Can I, while I watch him, cast Detect Magic?
Sure.
Obviously within 30 feet of him.
You'd have to get sort of in the arena with him to get within the range of that safely.
I can't go like if the arena is here and he's here, I can't go like right where his back is.
I mean, you'd have to get in the arena. He stands in the middle of it.
Oh, in the middle of it?
And he rarely moves away from the middle of it.
Is that cheating?
No.
Oh.
It's kind of the opposite.
What is the arena made of?
Dirt.
Are there walls?
No. It's like a dirt ring.
Are there trees around it?
There's one tree at the far end.
Part of me really wants to do this, and part of me thinks it'd be a really bad idea.
Da, 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 da.
And over the course of the month, you all would have probably heard about this at some point. Especially Agdrasal, who's working with Corbin. You would have seen Corbin attempt it.
I make sure Corbin doesn't go overboard and get himself killed.
He does not.
Okay. He wouldn't, but...
So are you going to try to get within the ring to sort of analyze him?
Yeah.
Okay. So you step in the ring. And you cast Detect Magic. He sort of turns to look at you, but doesn't actually approach because you didn't openly challenge him. You're just casting a spell. And yeah, he reads as magical.
What kind?
Non-specific, just he has a magical aura. It's brilliantly white.
Well, it needs to be a little more specific because it says I can learn its school of magic.
If it has a school.
If any.
It doesn't have a school.
Well, that's bullshit.
Yeah, a lot of magical items don't.
Is it him? Is he the magical?
It is him, yes.
You're just watching Marduk, like in Avatar form, just having a challenge.
I don't know what that means.
Marduk is the god of brotherhood.
Oh.
And battle. And good times in general.
He's the brother to all.
Yep. Yeah, he just sort of looks at you. He definitely looks like an older human. Like, he looks to be maybe in his 60s, except for the ridiculously ripped physique. Yeah. That is a thing he witnessed. Would you like to challenge him?
Again, part of me really wants to. And part of me doesn't think it's possible to beat him.
Go for it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
That's the voice
What
in
would
your
5 do?
head. 5 would probably have this dilemma.
The voice in my head definitely says something. But they don't say that. Nice of things.
I feel like 5 has an amount. 5 has an amount of survival instinct, I feel.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what wisdom says it for.
Yep.
Sorry.
It doesn't matter though, because 5, whatever the answer is, I'm either going to take it as yeah, that's what I want to do, or yeah, I don't.
Well, while you're contemplating that, Agdrasal, that amount is how much you get in silver for your month of work. You're muted.
My percentile.
Sorry, I missed the number. How much?
The number that you rolled, which you rolled 1242.
Okay.
That much in silver. So convert to gold as needed.
Nice.
Mostly because Corbin's been taking smaller jobs that keep him in the city so that he doesn't leave the city, which means that less pay, but less gradient of pay at least. All right, and then after a month, providing there's nothing else to do. Selena, is there anything else you're doing over the course of the month, or just running wild?
No, she pretty much just she finds some random inn to stay at instead of the guild.
Did she stay at the Misfits Respite?
No. Yeah, pretty much keeps to herself.
Okay. So Selena has a emotionally withdrawn month.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else, Boldrin makes some money. And
There's lots of alcohol.
As soon as William gets back, I will inform him the results of his attempt to get an invitation to the Bear Gryn estate. Agdrasol and Corbin do a variety of jobs, making a good amount of coin. 5 wanders around as a horse quite often.
I believe. So is that number plus 30 for?
Yeah, that is separate from the gold you get just as your job. Separate from the gold you get as your stipend.
Mm-hmm.
And the month rolls by. Ding. And we find ourselves at the end. Let me pull up my calendar so that I can tell you exactly what day it is. Most of you reconvene on Eldias, the 30th day of Consonant. Whether or not Selena reconvenes with the group on that day.
Yes.
Right? So,
she's already committed.
Boldrin, yes, you get an invitation to the gala as a merchant.
All right.
And on the 30th of Consonant, you all reconvene at the Misfits Respite to go over the plan for the next day.
What's the dress code for this? Is it just come as you are? Or...
Formal.
Okay.
Baragrin will be in a mask, but no one else is expected to be in a mask.
Here's the question. Can dwarves pass armor off as formal?
Not normally, no.
Okay.
But you do have time if you want to go buy magical items that might assist that.
Can I get my armor glamored?
Let me see.
I know leather armor can be glamored. I don't know what tiers of armor.
Armor of gleaming, that's probably not what you're looking for.
Like glamored leather was like in the DMG, I think.
Let me take a look.
It was like a suit of, I think it was specifically a suit of leather armor that looks like a suit of clothing.
Glamored studded leather. While wearing this armor, you get a +1 bonus to AC. You also use a bonus action to speak the armor's command word and cause the armor to assume the appearance of normal set of clothing. I will say that yes, you can probably get glamored attached to your armor.
How much would that cost in gold or in time?
It would cost. Let me take a look at my tables. It would cost you about like 5,000 gold.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten the opportunity to have that much money.
No. It's a rare enchantment, so it's expensive.
Yeah. So it definitely. Fortunately, I have defensive spells, so if I need to do something, I can protect myself.
So you buy yourself some noble clothes, probably.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think it's like 10 gold or something like that. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
There is. Sorry,
yes.
There is one thing I'm doing.
Okay.
Which is I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gems from the Dragon's Hoard.
Yes.
That are worth 50 gold each. So I am liquidating those.
You liquidate the fuck out of those.
Yep. So I have money again.
Yep.
So, how much would a +1 bow cost if I can get one?
A +1 bow is an uncommon bow. It would cost you about 500 gold.
Okay. Not yet.
All right. And so yeah, you all reconvene at the in the bedroom above the bar, back at the Misfits Respite. Sharoon is there, and he sort of looks. Oh, and he's dressed in his normal like sort of trench coat and top hat outfit. Right. So, are we all prepared?
Good to go.
All right.
Say the word.
So, to reiterate, Selena and myself will be going in as honored guests at the invitation of Mr. Berrigan. We will be casing out the joint, finding exactly the path they need in order to get to where they need to go. And then we are going to signal the group and basically stay there for the entirety of the party to maintain the facade. The Snatch and Grab group, which includes Agdrasol and Hope and Kaelin and a couple of the others, are going to follow the path that we give them to steal the ledger. And the reinforcement group, which includes Corbin and Koth and our lovely orc lady, he says to the female orc that who just sort of nods, will be in reserve to make sure if anything goes wrong at the back end, that the Snatch and Grab crew can get away safely while they distract any guards that are in pursuit. There's gonna be a lot of flying by the seat of our pants, so be ready for anything, because quite frankly, I have no idea what we're walking into. Old Berrigran's been keeping this pretty close to the vest.
It's my favorite kind.
I haven't been able to find out much aside from some sort of magical item that he's showing off for our gala, so. All right. Then we meet again. We meet in the morning on the road to the Berrigan estate. See you, he says, pointing at Selena, bright and early before the sun rises. All right. You're dismissed. And he sort of leans back and waves a hand to conjure a glass of wine that he begins to drink. And you all have one final night. Does any conversations you wish to have with each other? Or anything you wish to do in the evening before the morning of the heist?
Yeah, she will find a table somewhere.
Okay.
To sit down.
You do? Oh.
She's not specifically seeking anyone out.
Yeah.
But she's not hiding now.
At like the Thieves Bar or somewhere else.
At
Sorry.
The Respite or somewhere else?
Okay.
At the Respite, yes.
At the Respite.
My bad. I missed something. Agnes will probably walk over with a drink.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it been going?
Decent. None of your friends have died. You haven't died. I got paid.
Money's good.
Now, you okay?
I'm peachy.
You know,
I am perfectly fine.
Never heard anyone use the word peachy when they were actually okay.
No, I'm good. I am 100% complete using advantage. Or using Tides of Chaos. Completely.
You're okay with me? I'm rolling
totally. Fuck you, dice. Fuck you.
Selena says as the dice game that she's playing just rolls up snake eyes.
Look,
best to say she had. Argisel can tell she has sort of emotionally shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Is the best way to put it. I'm good.
You do archery?
Nope.
Come on. I'm gonna take you to a shooting range.
Do you want random people to get shot? Because that's what's going to happen.
Fortunately, shooting ranges are designed so that's very hard.
I need to point out that very hard means can happen at any moment around me.
Come on, just don't cast anything. No arguing.
All right, fine, whatever.
Yggdrasil and Selena go to a firing range.
Yep.
All of the firing ranges in the city are unfortunately or fortunately run by the rangers, the Cornet Rangers. But you managed to find a practice area.
I definitely have whatever membership or fee or requirement it is.
That comes with your job.
Because I've been here for I've been here more than a week.
It comes here with your job. Like you have that membership for training, as do everyone else that works at the Misfits Respite.
Getting out a beginner bow or whatever they use for soldiers to make it particularly convenient and easy.
A practice bow with a blunt arrow.
Yep. Takes it out range. Deep breaths.
She looks at it, gives a deadpan. Okay, I said I'm not good with the bow. I didn't say I was 5. 6.
Okay.
You don't know. 5 might be good with the bow.
No. That's why all of a sudden 6. I just realized that if I say that, that's confusing. I was referring to an age, not a person.
All right. It's probably not like just for context, it's probably the kind of bows that they give to guards because they don't require a great deal of like maintenance and effort. But
yeah.
You swap out the blunt arrows for normal arrows.
Yeah.
Yes. Swap out the blunt arrows for normal arrows. Just sort of guide her positioning. Do the bow instructor thing.
Okay.
Deep breaths.
I'll go through it with it.
Oh, give me a dexterity attack without your proficiency modifier.
And I'm taking the
that's
action.
Just a dexterity roll.
At with advantage because Yggdrasil is assisting you. You're taking the assist action, but yeah.
I hit.
You know what? It's different depending on the 20.
So yeah,
hits the target.
It hits target.
And deep breaths.
Uh-huh.
Just gonna have her go through for a little bit.
Okay. Yggdrasil is
She goes.
Oh,
goes through all of the motions.
Selena and Yggdrasil spend some time shooting targets.
I find that it's more cathartic than meditation.
Well, meditation is bullshit, first of all. But
it can have the same effect. Give you something to center on.
I'm centered. I am 100% focused.
I'm not asking because of the job. I'm asking because I'm worried.
You do not need to worry. I am good.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Can I get an insight on that?
Sure.
23.
Natural 20.
Unfortunately, it's an opposed roll.
Yeah, I like my
I rolled 1 higher. What do I learn, if anything?
Same thing. I mean, okay. I don't think that there's any...
Yeah.
Like she's emotionally shut down. Not unfocused.
Yep. No.
He was just trying to give her a way to work through it is what he was hoping to happen, but it doesn't.
Absolutely,
it doesn't
and she is refusing that offer.
Yeah.
She steel walls have been built up. Basically, is what's happening here.
Yep.
Baldrin, are you and 5 doing anything the night before?
Baldrin's mostly just like getting into this fine clothing and just being very uncomfortable as a cleric because anything he's used to wearing is either vestments or armor.
No, it's not. It was tailored to you, which means it fits, but it fits.
Yeah, but it's the style that's
like,
uncomfortable.
And you're just like, don't know how people wear this shit.
Basically.
Got a cummerbund and a coat and.
At the very least, he lets his beard is long enough that it covers up the holy symbol that he's still wearing underneath.
Yeah, and this is a dwarven tailored suit too, so it's like it's designed with the beard in mind. Like,
and Selena probably does see when he's on doing archery on the hand with the thing, the arm guard.
Mm-hmm.
The arm guard itself is a holy symbol for Argon, Mother of Harvest.
Okay. Noted.
Also, you notice that Yggdrasil fires without removing the blindfold.
Yep.
Got it.
And is almost perfectly hitting the mark every time.
Mm-hmm. I have a +10.
Yeah, you can't miss. Unless you roll a natural 1.
Even then, I technically hit the DC for a moderate-sized target.
Yep.
But yeah, while he's sort of getting suited up and like trying out the outfit, assuming 5 is near him.
Yes.
He sort of looks over his shoulder. So I don't know that it'll be allowed in the place where I'm going to have to go tomorrow night, but if you could be somewhere safe nearby, because I'm fairly certain the thing that this Berggrin person is about to show off are those magical constructs we fought in the cage with Yogurt.
5 takes the her notepad and she draws 2 pictures. One is a horse, and one is a picture of her. And she points, like, which one would you like her to be? The horse or 5?
I point at the picture of 5.
She looks sad.
I mean, if you want to be a horse, you're welcome to, I say, pointing at the horse. But
5 draws a heart next to the horse.
It'll be easier for me to find you as 5, but if you really want to be a horse, you can be a horse.
She sighs like, oh, if I must.
All right.
And then draws another heart next to the horse.
And unless there's anything else.
Nope.
The evening draws to a close. You all get your rest, and the next day you wake up and prepare. Before dawn, you were told to meet up with Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
And all of you do. You have it's Sharon and the whole crew. Like, everybody's there. Sharon's still dressed in that sort of what you assume is an armored, like, trench coat of some kind. He just sort of looks at you, nods and smiles. Right, well, we need to at least look the part, he says, and he sort of doffs his cap, and as he does, his entire body just shifts. The horns disappear, his skin color becomes more of a tanned humanoid version. His hair, which is black and slicked back, remains black and slicked back. And his coat, which is sort of a ragtag leather sort of armored duster, transforms into a very elegant suit of formal wear. The cane in his hand remaining mostly unaffected, though, as he puts the hat back on, looking far more approachable and human than he did previously. Well, I got us a carriage, he says, holding an elbow out towards Selena.
Take it.
The rest of you,
with a smile.
The rest of you will be following behind. Grimalkin will be leading you up to the location that you're going to be waiting at. Well then, shall we? As the carriage pulls up.
Yep. Let's go.
And Sharon and Selena get in the carriage. Baldrin, you, I assume, procured your own carriage and are riding elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the carriage rides off. Grimalkin looks at the rest of you. All right, so just so you know, no hard feelings, but I'm the boss here. So listen up. Got a couple of horses and a cart coming up in just a few minutes. We're gonna ride up after them at a good distance. Berrigan likes to have Berrigan's places on like a plateau, so it's got a really good like sight lines all around. We're gonna ride behind at a good distance, pull off before we're in spotting range, and continue up on foot until we get close enough that we can see the place and be within range of the boss's message. Sending whatever the spell fucking is. Anyways, then when we get there, we lie in wait, and once we get more information, we figure out what we're doing from there. Sound good?
In range of the spell that has a range of anywhere on this plane and probably any other plane.
Look, I don't fucking know, all right? I don't do spells. I make shit blow up, all right? That's all I do. Well, I also stab things.
I don't do
And gut
spells, I do
things.
planes.
And hang things. And steal things. And make holes. And make entryways. Anyways, I do a lot of things. But not magic's not one of them, alright? Alright. So,
Whatever.
let's get on the road. And the rest of you follow behind in a cart. The cart pulls off a good distance behind the carriages that are leading up, and you all sort of leave them in a forested area south of the Berrigan estate and continue through the forest pretty easily. There's plenty of cover, doesn't require stealth rolls. You all get to a good spot where you can see the estate and sort of size it up without necessarily being seen. Meanwhile, at the gates, Selena, yours and Sharoon's carriage pulls up. The driver hops down, opens the door for you, and Sharoon gets out and offers an arm to help you down.
Mm-hmm.
Well then, feel free to use your own name or whatever name you choose. You can introduce yourself, and I'll follow your lead.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably best. I don't think that. It's probably best just to play it safe. Hold on just a second. What would be a I think for now let's just go simple. I'll be Jera.
All right. Jera, and I'll be Narud. That was just for you, William. And so the two of you approach. Shortly behind you, another carriage comes up, and you notice it because a very, very formally dressed Baldrin steps out of the carriage. Sharoon looks over and suppresses a laugh.
Selena just blinks once.
Well, I see your friend is very resourceful.
Yeah, that's a word for it.
And you approach. You both get to the three of you sort of get to the entrance to the estate. The estate is a very large, almost Grecian laid out style thing. It's got hedges that sort of surround it up to the front, and the building itself is sort of a U shape, but like sort of more of a squared U, not a round U. And you can see it's got two floors on the prongs of the U, and then it goes up another two floors when it gets to like the main body of the building. Like there's a terrace. There's like an open air terrace on the third floor of the two wings of the estate, and then the estate proper itself is 4 floors high, with a balcony on the second floor overlooking, and balconies on the second floor on the left and right of the wings as well overlooking. It is currently populated by people of all manner of dress, all formal but very different, lots of very differing styles. It seems like this gala is something of a culture clash thing happening as well.
people of all races, most races. You do note that there are no tieflings or any of the goblinoid races within sight.
Okay.
There are guards sort of posted up at the entryway, as well as some form of butler or something that's sort of taking invitations. As the two of you get up, Sharoon pulls what to you looks like a blank pad of paper out, and he sort of just rubs his thumb across it, and it emblazons itself with the with an invitation that says Nerud and Jera. Nerud and Jera, guests of, and he hands it out to the person who sort of looks at it, pulls out a monocle and sort of like runs it across it. Make me a Arcana check.
Okay.
This is where the job goes bad.
15.
So, from what you can tell, it seems like this monocle is specifically designed to detect fakes. And you sort of tense up at that thought as it gets run across. After a moment, he hands it back. Please enjoy the gala. And he sort of nods, and he takes it, puts it back in his coat, and the two of you enter.
Yep.
Bulger and you follow behind, and the same thing happens, except your invitation is legit. And you hand it out, and he goes over it and hands it back to you, and welcome, and please enjoy. And you all step in. The three of you see, again, you're just surrounded by people. It's crowds of people. You see guards interspersed and lots of people, nobles of varying types, sort of schmoozing and talking. And very prominent on the balcony directly ahead, the second floor balcony, you see what can only be Walter Berggren. It can only be because he's the only person wearing a mask. You see a very Florentinian outfit, just red coloring with gold lining and ruffles at every limb. Every basically hole that the suit has was ruffled. So neck, wrists, ankles, waist, and he has this sort of stone like chiseled like Adonis face mask that sort of covers his face and swoops up, and then from the back of it is just white fur sort of falling down from the back. And he has a wine glass in one hand, and he's talking with somebody else and with gesticulating wildly with the others. This is most definitely Walter Berggren.
Okay.
Sharoon looks up and just sort of points. There's our man.
Yes, there is.
The most ostentatious person at the party. And I include myself in that. Of course, his clothes are very sort of subtle.
Right.
Well then, shall we schmooze?
Yes, let's.
So go ahead and give me a charisma roll with advantage.
Okay.
With your proficiency.
Charisma or persuasion, or well, I guess functionally it doesn't matter either way, because if I'm proficient.
Yeah, if you have proficient with persuasion, then that would be the one.
Yeah. 24.
So yeah, you and Sharoon both, and he is definitely just as much a schmoozer as you are, if not more. The two of you just go through the crowd like butter, like, oh, hello, darling, I love your outfit. Oh, what's that you have? Isn't that interesting? Just, talking people up. And you get the sense, what you learn is that in the building itself, the third story and up are off limits, with the exception of the verandas. And that whatever the purpose of the gala is going to be unveiled on the first floor in about an hour.
Okay.
You guys sort of arrived a little after the party got started because it was
and
quite
nobody
a
and nobody I'm assuming has any idea.
People have ideas, but nothing solid.
What are their ideas?
Most of what you hear are something magical that will apparently be an alternative to bodyguards and or military units.
Okay.
You don't get anything more than that. It seems, and you do get that Berrigan has been keeping this project particularly close to the vest. Even people that you meet a few people that have worked with him on previous projects of his, on previous entrepreneurial projects, don't know what this is. Seems like apparently he's been working with some new people that nobody knows in order to manufacture whatever this is.
So Selena is now coming to the same conclusions that Boldrin was.
Maybe something different. Boldrin, what are you doing?
Mostly just mingling with the crowd, mostly with more of the craftsmen, the merchants, and keeping an eye on Berrigan and seeing if he can notice when any of the showpieces are being brought out.
Yes, you get the general gist that it'll be in an hour or so. That seems to be the general idea. Everybody, give me a perception check.
Perception. 19.
You definitely you're keeping.
I shouldn't have advantage.
You're keeping a good eye on.
It's also performance.
God damn it!
I mean, unless you were trying to perform something.
No.
You're keeping an eye on Berrigan. You're pretty certain that you'll see if he moves away. Selena, it's a little bit more difficult for you to keep an eye on Berrigan because you guys are sort of actively mingling with the crowd and trying to get a layout of the building. So eventually the two of you go inside, for instance, and look around the first and second floors as much as you can. You do, however, get to a position where you can see him from the second floor. You could even approach him if you wanted to, but you're the two of you are just sort of mapping out the second floor as Sharoon sort of pulls you aside and, well, we really need to get up to the third floor. Do you have any ideas?
Boldrin's just kind of like Geralt at a party.
Yeah, you're sort of standing there with a drink. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, me or we?
We would be preferable, but if only one of us can get up there, only one of us can get up there.
I can get up there.
Well, I will follow your lead.
Okay. I have a couple ways. First things first, I am going to go find a window.
Yeah, there are plenty. Is there
a window where there does not appear to be anybody looking in that particular direction?
Give me an investigation check.
A window you can teleport through quietly without being seen.
11.
Yeah, so the back, you sort of go to one of the back balconies that are sort of next to the stairs.
Oh, that's even better. Is there anybody on the balcony?
The one that you find, no. But you see that there's like sort of a back garden that people are mingling in as well.
Okay.
And you can look up and see sort of like windows that look like they belong to rooms. All of them have curtains drawn though.
So I duck down.
Okay.
So I'm completely out of sight.
Give me a stealth check with advantage because nobody's over there.
Damn it. 20.
Okay.
I'm going to cast gaseous form.
Okay.
Because that's better than just teleporting straight up.
Yeah.
And I am floating my ass, my non-physical ass, up to floor 3 and looking for windows I can slide through.
Yeah, you can slide through any of them.
Okay.
None of the stuff is airtight.
I am waiting for one. I'm waiting until I find one that is specifically unoccupied.
All right. So give me perception checks. Or a perception check, sorry.
Damn it. Okay. I will not give myself advantage on this. I will hold off on that. Fuck.
A 3. So you find a window that is unoccupied.
Okay. I make my way in.
You
in, and you find yourself in sort of a bedroom. The far door is open. Nobody's in the bedroom.
Okay. Is it lit up here right now?
Yes. It seems like most of the floor is lit with sort of ever burning torches of some kind.
So I am continuing to stay in gaseous form until it's time. And starting to creep around and investigate and see if I can figure out.
So you sort of float out of this room and look around, and you see guards. They're not looking in your direction, but there are guards on this floor sort of posted at the stairs and at the doors to a couple of other rooms.
Okay. Make note of which rooms those are.
Mm-hmm.
Creep back. Go find their windows.
You go over and look in, and you see a curtained window. You can't see through it. You'd have to go through it to see what's inside.
Do I hear sounds coming from it?
Your perception check.
Fuck it, I will give myself advantage on this one.
Okay.
Fucking roll. Okay,
There it goes.
17.
There we go.
You hear nothing. Like, you hear the sounds of an empty room, but if there's something in there that they're guarding, it's either inanimate or not moving. Like, perfectly still not moving. You don't hear any rustling or any footfalls or any talking or anything.
Okay. Interesting. I'm going to try to creep in.
All right, so you
Yep.
through the window, and you find yourself in a darkened room with the door shut at the far end. You, however, have dark vision even in your gaseous state, so I think you do, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, even in your gaseous state. So you see 8 figures sort of standing perfectly still, wearing blue robes that are like traveler's robes with large conical orange straw hats and just sort of a shadowy nothingness underneath.
Mass-produced black mage.
Arcana?
You recognize
we fought
these things
before.
These are
That's right, we did.
These are the arcane golems you fought in the mines.
Fuck. All right, I pull myself out of the room. That pretty much tells us what we needed to know, right?
No, you need to find the ledger that details his dealings with the shards. It's a physical document.
So I pull out of that room, and I'm just gonna. How long do I have on this?
Up to an hour.
Oh, good.
Up to the point where he brings down the things.
So I'm going to just continue. I'm not using the hallway because hallway has guards.
Yeah.
I will go room to room to room.
Okay. So eventually, as you go around the outside, as you go around the outside, you eventually find yourself going around to the left wing, to the left from the back, the left-hand wing, which from the front is the right-hand wing, the northern wing. You find sort of the last room of the northern wing, situated above the terrace below it, above the terrace of that wing, I should have said.
and slide in, and you find what has to be Berggren's office. The door is closed and locked, it appears. The lights are still on, and there's just a large portrait of Berggren in that outfit that you saw him in on the wall behind a desk.
Okay, sorry, I got briefly distracted there.
So the last room on the northern wing, situated above the terrace of the northern wing, is what has to be Berggren's office. It is a very well furnished, ornate looking office that has a large, like, giant sized portrait of Berggren in the outfit you saw him in outside, sort of against the wall behind a writing desk, and the door to the room is closed and locked.
I know I'm not here, but description clarification question.
Mm-hmm.
In the portrait, is he also wearing the mask?
Yes. In the portrait, he is also wearing the mask.
Okay. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm trying to absorb information right now.
That's fine.
And having
That's fine.
difficulty. So there's nobody in here, though.
No. There's
So
nobody in here.
okay.
Except
So
you.
yes. So I will go corporeal.
So you focus for a minute and solidify.
Mm-hmm. And start.
You're muted, Aaron.
Sorry, did we get any description of where the book would be or what the book?
I don't
looked like?
believe so.
In his office was the most specific.
So start.
For some reason, I thought Caitlin
around.
had like researched what type of thing it was or something. Never mind.
Caitlin knows that it's a ledger, which
Got it.
would be a leather-bound journal of some kind. So give me an investigation check.
Yep. $19.
So you go for the most obvious thing, which is the portrait.
Mm-hmm.
And you sort of move over and sort of investigate. You see that the portrait is hooked to the wall with wires. That indicates probably some sort of trap. You don't want to pull it back.
Right.
You sort of look over and sort of go through the desk. You find ledgers in the desk, but none of them are the things you're looking for. There's normal ledgers. Things that he would leave out in the open. You're pretty certain that wherever it's hidden is probably behind this portrait, which you're pretty certain is trapped.
Are you still in gaseous form?
No.
No.
Physical form, no.
Okay.
But you're pretty certain that's where it's at, and that's the information you needed to relay back to the grab team.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
if you want to make it easier for them to get in, that's up to you.
I mean, I am not gonna fuck with the trap because that'll just go bad.
No. But like opening a window.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to. Well, it would be good to open the window anyways, because that's how I'm leaving. But yeah.
Yeah, so
a little bit wider.
Mhm.
Gaseous form again.
And you find Sharoon is sort of standing with his back to the balcony, providing perfect cover for you to land and reform if you need to.
Mm-hmm. Yes, which I do.
And he's sort of doing the very showy, arm against a wall lean, like he's observing the party, which gives you a lot of cover. And he sort of looks over his shoulder. So, are you decent?
I very much, well, that's a loaded question, but I am fully dressed, yes.
I know it's a loaded question. That's why I asked it. And he sort of turns around, offers you a glass of wine. Well, I assume you were successful.
Yeah.
Do you have the capacity to send your information?
Let me see.
There's a dwarf inside that does.
I mean, Sharoon has if it doesn't, but
No, I don't.
well, I do. So if you could give me if you could actually write down as detailed a description as you can, I will send the message along.
Yeah. As detailed as I can in 25 words.
Yeah. And he so northern wing end above terrace, open window.
Yep.
Behind painting. All right.
Painting is trapped.
Painting is trapped.
Yeah,
Behind trapped painting. Word conservation. All right. Third floor. Yes. He sends that off. Very well. Well, shall we rejoin the party? I believe it's just about time for them to unveil whatever mysteries our guest has waiting for us.
Oh, yes. I got an advance preview.
I assumed you would.
It's good to know people. Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Something I should know about?
No, nothing that's an immediate threat, I don't think.
All right.
We're good.
Well then, let's rejoin the others. I think your
Yeah.
friend looked a little uncomfortable. He could use somebody that knows how to talk to people.
I mean, that's just his face.
I will note that I have proficiency in persuasion and a +2 charisma mod.
It's true.
Yes, exactly.
You still notably said you were like Geralt at a party.
Yeah. Also notably, Geralt at a party.
I want to point out that Geralt
like him. Yeah.
gets a lot of.
Like Geralt
Geralt is not necessarily uncharismatic.
Yeah,
No.
like Geralt is charismatic. He just doesn't like being at parties.
Yeah.
Geralt is charismatic. He's also antisocial,
Yeah.
which is the more important
Like
part
he's
here.
the kind of antisocial that nobles find sexy.
It's that everybody finds sexy. It's also his scars and his eyes and his hair and everything else. Anyways,
Yeah, so my statement, as I said, that's not deemed uncomfortable. That's just his
it's just his face.
Yeah.
It's true. So the two of you go back down and rejoin Boldrin. Sharoon complimenting Boldrin on his outfit. Looks tailored. Looks like a good job too.
Yes, quite a fine tailor. Paid a decent price for it.
Mm. Well, I hope you get to use it more than once. It's always
Galas aren't typically my speed. More of a man of the forge.
I'm stunned.
well,
Really stunned.
you hear like sort of the chiming of a crystal glass, and Sharoon goes, "I believe it's time for our show. Shall we?"
I look over at specifically at Selena. You know, I think I got an idea what's upstairs.
I know exactly what's upstairs, and you're probably right.
I thought so.
Well then, let's go find out, since I'm the only one in the dark. And the three of you move to the show floor, which is in the southern wing on the first floor. In there stands Walter Bergen. Ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, and all of my dear friends, associates, fellow merchants, fellow lords, everyone, welcome to my admittedly annual gala, but also unveiling of my latest entrepreneurial adventure. I would like you all to cast your minds to a world where you no longer had to worry about paying well your bodyguards. You no longer had to worry about them turning coat at the slightest drop of a hat or at the clink of superior coin. Instead, an army at your disposal of powerful and loyal subjects. Have I enticed you? And you definitely, there's definitely a murmuring of interest among the crowd. Yes.
allow me to unveil something I have been working very closely with. Something I've been working very closely on. It has, in fact, had my personal touch. The latest in bodyguards and military might. And he waves a hand, and from the stairs on the western wall comes marching down a cadre of blue-robed, straw-hatted, shadowy nothingness figures, each carrying a staff and marching in unison.
I have a question.
Yes.
I need a clarification on a spell.
Okay. What spell?
Dispel magic.
Okay. What about it?
Would it cause the construct to potentially go non-functional or haywire?
You have no idea regarding these particular constructs. You've seen
All
the
right.
formula. You've seen the formula that makes them. You don't know it's a wizardy formula, so it's not one that you could necessarily recreate.
That's fine.
You have no idea what its effect would be. You do know that it typically does not affect magical constructs, though.
Right.
But these are more spells being given form. Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait until they get behind him, because I'm assuming that they will like. So, that is the proper showmanship thing for them.
So
put your items, but put your new products behind you, so that you are the gateway between the public and them.
So he sort of steps off to one side, and what you can now count as a row of, it's many more than you previously saw in that one room, and you realize that there were 4 rooms that had guards.
Okay.
As roughly 32 of these arcane golems. In every group of 8, there's one that is slightly different stylistically. The robes are black and the hat is purple instead. They sort of march in. And you remember that one of the ones that was definitely more powerful than the rest in the mine was that design.
Okay. More powerful means more potential, more tricky. Okay.
And they sort of line up with the normal ones in the back and the more powerful ones in the front. And Baragrin sort of standing off to one side.
As soon as one of them gets close, fairly close to him, hopefully when they are still in motion of taking formation, though, I'm spending a sorcery point for subtle spell.
Okay.
And I am trying to cast a 4th level dispel magic on one of the more powerful ones.
Okay. What's the range?
You remove the components
120 feet?
of that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, you just focus and that magical burst happens. Roll me a d20. Roll me a spellcasting roll.
Oh, spellcasting roll? Okay.
Yeah.
As
a note, you can make a tool that is for spellcasting rolls specifically.
Yeah, but you can also just roll your saving throw, because you're always proficient in your spellcasting ability or attribute. Motherfuck.
You, whatever you just said, Aaron, was not audible because you're muted. Nothing seems to happen as they continue.
That was intentional.
Okay. As they continue to march sort of in lockstep and then present.
I spend another sorcery point for a 3rd level dispel magic.
Try it again. I mean, another spellcasting
subtle
roll.
Spell. 24.
There we go.
Nothing happens.
Damn it. Okay.
Okay, so they are just constructs.
As they... It would be a little shitty for your arcane golems to be dispelled, let me just say.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit of a shitty person.
It's true, he is. Feast your eyes upon the arcane golem. a specially crafted recipe of my own design, which harnesses the arcane potential in magic and focuses it down into a powerful, loyal, spell-casting bodyguard. We've already done many tests, and I assure you their effectiveness is guaranteed. And I can also tell you that these are on the market today. Any of you that would like to buy any number of these need merely make an appointment with yours truly, and we will get you set up with however many of these guards. First, you see the baseline model, he says, indicating the white ones, and he goes into basically an Apple-style show and tell. As the outside crew, Grimalkin turns and goes, "All right, we got ourselves a plan. Sneaky time." And as he draws a dagger and a bomb, you're not certain what he's going to use the bomb for, but he really wants to use it. That's where we're going to end for today. So, say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.